There aren't a lot of working class professors in academia, even if we have PhDs, because academia is one of the most classist institutions. And a lot of people in academia are completely oblivious to it. And sure, I'm sure there are some faking, but I mean, this person is responding to, I made a video about how I removed graduation dates from my resume because I worked full-time while I was in school, and I realized recruiters weren't counting my full-time job experience before my graduation dates ended. And I give examples in the video of the type of work I was doing, working at a Big Four firm, all of these things. And somebody still comments, well, as a fellow PhD, I wouldn't call getting your PhD a full-time job. Like, they could not conceptualize that I was also working while getting my PhD. I was actually working full-time and still part-time adjuncting while getting my PhD. That's why it took 6 years. And I ran into this over and over again. And that's why when I wrote a book chapter with one of my friends who was a Black man who grew up in poverty, we talked about these class culture clashes in the academy. And one of them was like, you will get well-meaning advice from your professors that is just completely out of touch. Like, stop working yourself so hard. Just take a vacation. You don't even have to go out of town. Just like rent a hotel and stay in it. And it's like, with what? You pay me 16 grand a year to live in Miami. And this happened all the time. Even someone in my grad cohort, again, well-meaning, was like, oh my God, Anna, I don't know why you do this to yourself. I don't know why you work full-time, part-time, and try to get your research done and all of that. Like, you're right. I just love driving myself to the ground. You can't think of one reason, just one. And I am very anti all the anti-intellectualism right now. I'm very pro like expertise, but I include, expertise can also be that you're an electrician or things like that. Like, you have lived experience. But this kind of cluelessness of the real experience of a lot of people is part of what makes that kind of anti-intellectualism grow. Not all of it, but it's just like, if you encounter people who seem to have no sense of reality for you, which we can never 100% know someone's experience, but if you meet someone who, like, you make a 3-minute video talking about all the jobs you have while you were in school and they cannot conceptualize that you were working in school, it kind of makes you like cock your head a little bit and wonder. I'm reading a fictional book right now because I try to do fictional books at night to help me sleep and do my nonfiction during the day. And it's unusual for me because it's a romance, but it's supposed to be set in academia between 2 physicists, and it was supposed to have a lot of nerdy science jokes. And it does, so I enjoy that, but the rest of it I find it creepy. But one thing I did like about it is that it does show the main character has diabetes, and she's been adjuncting like 9 classes. She's trying to get a tenure track job. She's in the U.S., and a lot of people don't know, adjunct professors, 1, you get paid below minimum wage, and 2, you don't have any benefits. So she's a diabetic with no health insurance, and she's going through job interviews, and her mentor from grad school asked her, like, why don't you just finish your research? Why haven't you finished the paper that we were working on? And she's like, well, I haven't had time. I'm teaching 9 classes. And he's like, well, maybe you simply need to drop a few classes. And like, this woman is already rationing her insulin, like, because she doesn't have health insurance and she's getting paid below minimum wage to teach 9 classes. And she's like, no, that's not really an option for me financially. And he's like, sometimes you just have to do without. We can't be greedy. It's just that kind of out of touchness that's like, they captured that really well in the book. I'll give them that. But that's why, like, I don't have as many publications as a lot of people who do their PhDs and only work on their research, because I had to work. You don't get paid to do publications. The journal actually takes all the money that they make off publishing your work. So I have a few from early in my PhD days when I couldn't work a full-time job because I had to take classes and teach. But you need to publish to get a job in academia and to apply for grants and all that. And all that takes time that when you do not have generational wealth, you don't have time to do, because as soon as you can, you need a job. But I don't want to discourage you, because I do think, especially with the work that I do, the fact that I'm a work psychologist, I think it's valuable that I have real work experience. Like, I actually have, people aren't going to like this, but I have a bit of a pet peeve against people who make business research and recommendations who've never had a job before. Like, I've worked in everything from community college to Ivy League and local government to federal government, academia, from faculty, and also like internal and research projects and hiring and selection. And all of that does give me a unique perspective to do the work that I do. So, there's value in the academic peer review process and such. It's just not accessible for everybody, not with the wages that are today. And it's not happening anytime soon with all these funding cuts.